Hello, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another video. If you are new to this channel, my name is Frank Zhu, and I'm a college professor teaching sociology, history, and philosophy. I'm also an award-winning landscape photographer. We human beings are social animals. We live together in communities. Our survival, development, success, and well-being depend on cooperation and communication with one another. In the process of interaction, we establish various relationships, such as friendships, romantic relationships, workplace relationships, etc. Of course, we also terminate certain relationships. Sometimes we have closer relationships with some people. Other times we are closer with other people. Now, a few important questions arise for social scientists to answer. On what basis do we engage ourselves more with some people and not with others? Why do we form and maintain or terminate relationships with some people and not with others? What factors play important roles in these relationships? To answer those questions, social scientists have done a lot of research and have come up with theories such as social exchange theory, attachment theory, relational dialectics theory, and social learning theory, etc. In today's video, however, I'm going to briefly discuss the first one, social exchange theory. I will talk about a few other theories in my future videos. Hopefully, these sociological theories will help you understand how different relationships are established and help you deal with relationship problems more effectively. Social exchange theory originated in the 1950s and 60s, based on the works of some people such as George Holmans. To a large extent, Holmans' 1958 paper, Social Behavior as Exchange, provided a foundational text for social exchange theory. According to this theory, social interaction is a process of bargaining and negotiation. People are rational creatures, always calculating costs and benefits in their social interactions. Every individual assesses potential rewards and costs when they start a relationship or maintain a relationship or end a relationship. Every individual tries their best to maximize benefits and minimize negative outcomes. If the benefits derived from an interaction or relationship are greater than the efforts, the interaction or the relationship will continue. If not, it will be terminated. Interestingly, this sociological theory is similar to hedonism, a philosophical theory which claims that the goal of human interaction is to seek the largest amount of pleasure. Social exchange theory is used by many social scientists, including myself, in the fields of psychology, sociology, and social work. For example, I often find myself using the principles of this theory when explaining certain social behavior or relationships to my students or friends. According to supporters of this theory, it can be applied to a broad range of contexts and fields. As a matter of fact, we all constantly examine and calculate how many benefits we will get, such as companionship, emotional or financial support, love, etc., and how many costs we will suffer, such as emotional strain, sacrifices, disagreements, etc. In our daily life, when you agree to go out with someone on a date, It is usually because the potential enjoyment and reward seem to you higher than the risk of awkwardness. At workplace, when you help a colleague with a task, it is usually because you anticipate they might help you with yours later, or it boosts your reputation. When you volunteer for a community project, it is because you feel that making a difference to the local community outweighs the time you committed. In relationship, if you no longer consider someone as your best friend, it is usually because you now believe you have lost more than you have gained from this friend, especially when you believe your efforts have not been returned. Such cost and benefit calculations are also true with some marriage relationships. As long as the ratio of rewards to costs is favorable to either of the partners, the marriage will be satisfying and stable. However, if one partner sees the ratio of rewards to costs are unfavorable, he or she will very likely terminate the marriage. In my opinion, social exchange theory is particularly useful in understanding organizational behavior, such as employment engagement in a company. According to this theory, it is important for an employer to understand how the perceived balance of rewards such as recognition, career development, fair compensation, and costs such as effort, stress, and time influences employee motivation, loyalty, and a willingness to contribute to the company. The same principle also applies to leadership and management. It is helpful in building trust and reciprocity between leaders and their teams, so as to maximize collaboration and motivation. Although I see merits and strengths of social exchange theory in shaping how we understand human interaction and relationships, I have to point out its limits. Critics of this theory, including myself, have questioned whether its focus on calculated exchanges applies to all types of social interactions and across all cultures. In my opinion, it overemphasizes the rational aspect of human beings in social interaction. It oversimplifies human behavior by assuming that everyone is purely rational in decision-making. It reduces complex relationships to simple exchanges. To put it simply, it neglects many factors in human relationships, such as emotions and intimacy. For example, it fails to take into consideration acts of love in a marriage relationship. We all know that people in love often strive to make their loved ones happy rather than seeking their own pleasures. Also, social exchange theory is based on the assumption that every human being is selfish by nature, which has been refuted by many people, including myself. The theory doesn't adequately explain selfless behaviors in social interactions by many individuals. Finally, some critics also pointed out its cultural bias. People in different cultures have different values and attitudes towards relationships. As this theory is rooted in Western individualism, it does not apply to some Eastern cultures where communal values dominate. To conclude this video, social exchange theory is a theory that attempts to explain social interactions and human relationships. According to this theory, human interactions are like exchanges where people try to maximize rewards such as companionship, support, fun, etc., and minimize costs such as time, effort, stress, etc. in relationships. It holds that people aim for a net profit to stay engaged with one another. People stay in relationships where benefits outweigh costs and leave relationships when they do not. The consideration of benefits and costs influences everything from friendship to marriage to workplace engagement. Well, I think that is all for today's video. As I said at the beginning, social exchange theory is only one of several sociological theories which attempt to explain why and how we interact with some people more than with others, and establish closer relationships with some people more than with others. I will discuss more theories of this kind in my future videos. So please consider subscribing if you are interested. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.